We are reading Macbeth by William Shakespeare, and this is a summary of Act 1. If you're in the document, you will notice that there is a video link here that says animation/manga. If you click on that, it loads this slide deck, and the slide deck has slides with text information. It has a video clip of an animation series I'm using, and you could click over here and read the manga version of it. The goal here is for you to understand the overall story and then to understand just a little bit of the Shakespearean text within that story. So I will be giving it to you. Each reading assignment will have an act, and we will go over the whole act and then look at a few of the chosen scenes. In Act 1, before the curtain even rises, we know a few things about this play. We know it takes place in Scotland at the time of knights and castles and sword fights. We know that Scotland, if you didn't already know this, is in the British Isles. It is the northernmost country, England, Ireland, and Scotland. We know that there has been a war going on. Primarily, it is a war of enemies of Scotland attempting to overthrow it. And in particular, we know that there are a number of Scottish princes, one in particular, who has betrayed the Scottish king and allied themselves with the enemy. Currently, Macbeth is this valiant general who is rallying his troops in one last effort to stop this rebel Scottish prince from overthrowing Scotland. So as the curtain rises, we know there's this bloody last effort going on led by Macbeth. When the curtain comes up, the first thing that we see are three witches standing on stage, and they are talking about this guy, Macbeth. They're saying, hey, when are we going to meet with Macbeth? And they say, well, when the war's over, when this battle is done. They ask, when's that going to be? And they'll say, it's going to be at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, we'll meet Macbeth where? Upon the heath. So we're going to meet in this place when the war is over, the battle is over, and we're going to talk to Macbeth. In the second scene, we are at the king's palace, at the king's castle, and a bloody soldier has been carried in on a stretcher. And the king asks for news of the battlefield. How is the war going? And this bloody sergeant tells the story of how it looked as though we were going to lose. Everybody was down. It was horrible. This rebel was just mean. He was horrible. But Macbeth rallied us with confidence, and he himself went across the battlefield killing people until he literally sliced open the enemy and cut off his head. The king says, Macbeth, he has saved the country. He is the hero of heroes. I'm going to give him all kinds of rewards and titles and things like that. So Macbeth and Banquo leave the scene of the battle. So we see the two of them, and they are riding across the swampy heath. It is pouring rain, lightning, and thunder. It's just horrible and miserable. And boom, up pop these three weird sisters, the three witches. And they stop Macbeth and Banquo. Hail them, hail, hail, hail. And they tell Macbeth, you're going to be king. And Banquo says, hey, what about me? And they say, well, you're not going to be king, but your descendants will be king. So both of you guys are going to be royalty, and poof, they disappear. Now, Macbeth kind of trips on it, but he heads into the king's palace to meet personally with the king. And when he meets with the king gives him all kinds of rewards, tells him what an awesome guy he is. So Macbeth says, hey, can I write a letter to my wife and have a messenger carry it to her to let her know I'm okay and I'm on my way home? So Macbeth writes a letter to his wife, Lady Macbeth, telling her about the witches and what they said about him being king. Now, Lady Macbeth is thinking, this is exactly what I want to hear, and I kind of know what we're going to have to do. So she summons dark spirits to fill her up, meaning she wants to be able to kind of not feel the moral implications of what she might need to do, possibly to betray this king. And she starts formulating a plan. Well, when Macbeth arrives, she tells Macbeth her plan. Her plan is this: we invite the king over, we throw a dinner for him, make him the guest of honor. We get everybody really drunk and we drug the king and his bodyguards, and then when he's asleep, sneak into the bedroom and you kill him while he's asleep. It'll be awesome. Don't even worry about it. I'll take care of everything, okay? So Macbeth, figure he hasn't seen his wife in months and months, a year or more. He's like, yeah, whatever, let's go to bed. And he agrees to do it. So the next night rolls around and the king's over for dinner and they're having this great time. And the king is awesome. He's this super nice guy. He's super grateful to Macbeth. Again, giving him rewards, calling him a hero. Everybody loves Macbeth. They're like, everybody's Macbeth, Macbeth. He's top of his game, top of the world. So he decides, well, killing the king doesn't seem like a good idea now. So I don't think I'm going to do it. And he goes to Lady Macbeth and he tells her, hey, you know what? We will proceed no further. And she goes off on him. What? You promised me last night. And so are you saying you're a liar? Does that mean you don't love me? You know what? That's what I think. If you don't love me. And you know what? I thought you were a man. And he says, well, I am a man. I'm a man with some integrity. And she says, you know what? You would be more the man if you would do this thing. And you promised it to me. And if I promised it to you, like if I promised to kill my child, I would do as I promised. And so he goes, okay, but what if we fail? What if we get caught? What if somebody knows we did it? And she says, fail? Don't worry about that. Just screw your courage to the sticking place. Meaning just do your job and kill him. So at the end of the act, it is Macbeth agreeing to betray his beloved king and then kill him in his bed while he sleeps, right in the very castle of Macbeth.